say I'm doing better now, like I'm finally healing. I learned how to say your name without my voice shaking. I even laugh at memories like my heart's not breaking. I keep it all together till the door is closed at night. I still cry in private when nobody can see. When the world goes quiet and it's just the dark in me, I hold it in all day, like I'm strong and I'm alright. But the truth comes out in silence. I still cry in private. I packed away your sweater, but I kept the scent somehow. There's a space beside my pillow where you don't lay now. I tell myself I chose this, that walking away was right. But that doesn't stop the ache when I turn off the lights. I don't let them see the cracks in the armor that I wear. I still cry in private over what we used to be, over all the almost and the could have beens with me. I'm brave in conversation, I'm composed in the bed. But when the room gets heavy, I still cry in private. Do you ever miss me the way I miss you? Or did you fold our love away like it was easy to do? I hate that I still feel this when you're already gone. I'm tired of being strong when I don't wanna be strong. I still cry in private where no one hears my heart, where I don't have to pretend I'm not falling apart. I wipe my tears before the sun and face another day. But healing isn't quiet, it just hides the pain. Yes, I still cry in private, though I'm letting you go. Some wounds don't show. One day I won't feel this. One day I'll be fine. But tonight behind closed curtains I still cry in private. I used to know my reflection, every fire in my eyes, had a voice that never trembled, had wings that knew the sky. Then loving you felt holy, like something I should keep. So I laid down all my boundaries at your wandering feet. I thought giving you my whole heart was what love was supposed to be. But every piece I handed you was taken more from me. I lost myself completely somewhere in your arms. Turned my truth into your comfort, turned my strength into your calm. Faded in your shadow so you would never leave. I lost myself completely, trying to make you believe. I changed the way I laughed, changed the way I dressed, spoke a little softer, held in every protest. I called it compromise, but it was fear in disguise. Every time I swallowed hurt, a little more of me died. I kept saying this is love as I disappeared inside. You were holding on to freedom while I let my spirit light. I lost myself completely in the shape of what you need, bent until I broke in half just to keep you pleased. I gave you every version of who I thought you would choose. I lost myself completely, and still I lost you. Now I'm standing in the silence of a house that doesn't fit, trying to remember the girl I used to be in it. I lost myself completely, but I'm finding pieces now. Every tear that ever fell is teaching me how. I won't train for somebody or beg for love to stay. I lost myself completely, but I'm finding my way. You may not recognize me when I'm whole We used to fall asleep with our fingers intertwined, breathing in the same dream, heartbeat keeping time. You said I'm not going anywhere, said I'm right here always. Now there's a space between us where your warmth used to stay. I felt you slipping slowly like sand between my hands. The tighter that I held you, the less you tried to stand. Love didn't stay close, it drifted like the tide. Steady, next minute we were wide. I kept reaching for your shadow, but you were almost gone. Love didn't stay close, even when I held on. You stopped saying forever, started saying we'll see. Turned our always and always into uncertainty. I kept lighting candles, hoping you'd come near, but distance grew between us, thicker than my fear. I kept calling out your name like it could pull you back, but love was walking further down a different track. Love didn't stay close, it faded out of sight. I was fighting for the morning, you were giving up the fight. I built a home in your arms, you built a door to leave. Love didn't stay close, and it took you away from me. Love shouldn't feel like chasing someone standing still, shouldn't feel like begging for a simple kind of will. If staying felt too heavy, why didn't you just say? Instead you let us crumble slowly day by day. Soft brain and how to breathe without your hand in mine. But some nights I still feel the ghost of what was mine. Love broken too. I gave you all the closeness my heart ever knew. If love can drift so easy, then it wasn't strong enough. Love didn't stay close, but I am stronger than this love. We were once so certain, now we're just too close. Love didn't stay close, but I held it close the most. We spoke in careful whispers, like loud would make it break. Tiptoed around the truth for both our fragile sakes. Your hands would hold me gently, but never hold me tight. Like too much pressure on us would shatter us that night. I felt the cracks beneath our skin, but I was scared to let them in. Love felt fragile, like glass between our hands. One wrong move and it would fall, and we wouldn't understand. I tried to keep it steady, tried to make it strong, but I was walking on a wire all along. We held it like a secret, afraid of what was factual. I loved you so carefully, because love felt fragile. You'd pull away at hard talk, say let's not ruin this. So I swallowed every question for another quiet kiss. We painted over problems in soft and pastel lights, but underneath the colors were truths we couldn't hide. I kept pretending we were fine, while feeling fault lines in your spine. Love felt fragile, like winter in July, like one small shift in tone would make it die. I guarded every sentence, measured every sigh. I was scared that being honest would say goodbye. I lost my voice in silence, trying to keep us stable. I held my heart with trembling hands, because love felt fragile. Maybe love shouldn't scare you into shrinking who you are. Maybe if it's real, it can survive the dark. I don't wanna whisper when something's breaking through. I wanna love that's solid, not something I tiptoe around with you. was afraid to breathe too deep, afraid to ask for more, afraid that one small truth would send you out the door. Love felt fragile till I couldn't hold it anymore. It slipped between my fingers and shattered on the floor. And maybe it was never strong. If truth could make it fall, maybe love shouldn't feel so breakable at all. Now I'm gathering the pieces of something impractical. I won't love so quietly just because it feels fragile. Next time love finds me, it won't feel breakable. It'll feel safe and unshakable. You said you felt it deeply, but never said it twice. Your arms were warm around me, but your heart was cold as ice. You look at me like I was home, then drift like passing air. I kept reaching for your hand, but you were never fully there. You spoke in half-lit sentences, in shadows and in doubt. And every time I needed truth, you'd quietly step out. Was I yours or just convenient? Was I safe or just nearby? I kept searching for the answer in the silence of your eyes. Love was never clear. It was fog around my heart. One step close, 2 steps gone, tearing me apart. You'd pull me in like forever, then disappear in fear. I kept begging for a love that was never clear. You hated when I questioned where we really stood. Said I was overthinking something that felt good. but good should feel like breathing. Not walking on a wire, not wondering if your touch would stay or just expire. I memorized your maybes like they were promises, convincing myself confusion was just part of this. But love shouldn't feel like guessing, shouldn't feel like war, shouldn't make you feel unwanted, standing at its door. Love was never clear, it was smoke inside my lungs. Every almost felt so close, but never fully won. You'd hold me like you meant it, then vanish when I neared. I kept losing pieces of myself, 'cause love was never clear. I don't miss the chaos, I miss who I was before I learned to read between every slammed door. You made me doubt my instincts, made me doubt what's real. Now I'm learning love is simple when it's meant to heal. I was asking for assurance, you were calling it control. But clarity is kindness, and confusion takes its toll. Love was never clear, but now I see the truth. If I have to question, it's not the kind I choose. I don't want a maybe, I don't want half sincere. I deserve a steady heart, not one that disappears. Love was never clear, I was drowning in your almost, holding back my tears. Now I'm walking toward a love that's finally clear. You said love wasn't perfect, said it takes a little pain, but I didn't know the hurting would be constant like the rain. I kept wiping tears in silence so you wouldn't see the cost of holding on to someone who was already lost. You'd hold me when I was breaking, say baby we're okay, but okay shouldn't feel like slowly fading away. I kept calling it growing, kept saying we're learning, but deep in my chest I was loved, still hurting. I was loved, still hurting, still crying at night, still begging for a isn't love that's true. I don't need perfection, I don't need grand things. I just need a heart that doesn't wound when it clings. I thought pain meant passion, thought tears meant it was deep. But deep shouldn't mean drowning in promises you couldn't keep. I was lost, still hurting, but I won't stay this way. I deserve a love that heals me, not one I have to beg to stay. If loving means I'm breaking, then that's not love to me. I want arms that feel like shelter, not a place I cannot breathe. I was loved, still hurting. Maybe one day I'll understand why it felt so wrong. But love shouldn't leave you hurting for this long. I loved you soft, I loved you slow, in ways you'd never see. I memorized your quiet days and all you wouldn't be. I held your hand when words ran out. I stayed when nights were long. I never needed you to change, I just needed you alone. I didn't shout or make a scene, I trusted love would speak. But you mistook my tenderness for something weak. I loved you soft, with an open heart I gave you. You gave me scars you wanted first, something loud, a love that burns and bleeds. I love you soft, and you didn't see. I built a home and all your flaws, called it safe, called it healed. I carried weight you never felt, so you wouldn't have to feel. I bent my needs into your shade, so you could stay. just wish you knew the value of the love you walked away from. I loved you soft, but I loved you too. I gave you peace. You wanted new one day when this the safety you didn't know you had. I loved you soft, and that was never but I won't disappear. I won't make my heart smaller just to keep someone near. I loved you soft, and I'm still here. You said, trust me, baby, and I did without a doubt. Wrap my fragile heart around every word that left your mouth. You painted me a future, soft as Sunday light. I didn't see the shadows hiding out of sight. I thought love meant closing my eyes and falling in deep. Never thought the one I trusted would be the one I'd weep. It was make-believe, every promise that you made me believe in forever, in the plans we laid. Me believe you'd catch me if I fell too far. It was me believe with all my heart. You held my hands so tightly, I can never let them go. Said I was your only, said I'd always know. But somewhere in the distance, your feelings rearranged, and I was still believing while you quietly changed. I kept defending you when my friends could see, but I was loving harder than you were loving me. It was me believed that love could make you stay. Me believe the silence was just a passing phase. Me believe in always and every will be fine. It was me believe while you changed your mind. breakdown, now I'm learning. Believing isn't something small. It takes a brave kind of heart to give it your all. It was me, believe, but I won't be ashamed for loving without fear, for playing no games. You may have walked away, but I know what I gave. It was me, breathe, and that's what made me brave. Next time I believe in love, it won't be naive. It was me, believe. Now it's me, believe in me. I thought love would be a shelter, a safe place from the rain, a hand to hold in darkness, a comfort in the pain. You said just trust the feeling, so I laid my armor down. Didn't know the very thing I trusted would let me drown. You kissed me like a promise, like I was finally home. But home shouldn't feel like walking through a storm alone. I believed that love was gentle, believed it would be kind, but kindness shouldn't leave you second guessing your own mind. Love didn't protect my heart, it left it in the open, wide enough to break apart. On words you left unspoken, I thought love would keep me safe, keep me from the dark. But loving you just tore me through. Love didn't protect my heart. I stayed when I felt shaking, stayed when I felt small, convincing myself real love is worth the fall. You said I was dramatic when I cried over the cracks, but love shouldn't make you question if you'll ever get it back. I wrapped myself around you like that would make you stay, but you were halfway leaving every single day. I kept calling it devotion, kept calling it fate, but fate shouldn't feel like waiting at a closing gate. Love didn't protect my heart, it let it bruise and bleed every time you pulled away, and still expected me to hold you like forever while you stood in the dark. I thought love would fight for me. Love didn't protect my heart. promise protection, but only when it's true. Only when two hearts are fighting for the same as two. I was the only one trying, the only one afraid to lose something that you had already let fade. I confused pain with passion, confused chaos with spark, but fire that keeps burning you just leaves a mark. Love didn't protect my heart, but I will from now on. I won't mistake attention for a love that's strong. I deserve a steady hand, not one that drifts apart. If love won't stand beside me, I'll guard my own heart. Love didn't protect my heart. I still believe in love, but not the way you are. Next time it won't just feel intense, it will feel safe in my heart. Never hid my feelings, never played it cool. When I said I loved you, I meant it through and through. I showed you all my weaknesses, all my fragile scars. I didn't keep a single piece hidden in the dark. You said you felt it too, said I was your truth, but somewhere in your promises I started losing you. I stayed the same through every test, but you're forever changed with every breath. My love stayed honest, even when yours didn't, even when you're always turned into it isn't. I gave you something real, something fearless, open. You gave me half a heart and words unspoken. My love stayed honest. I didn't love in maybes, didn't love in parts. I didn't keep one foot outside or guard my heart. I stood beside your silence when it cut like glass, believing that devotion could somehow make it last. But truth can't fix a heart that doesn't want to stay, and loyalty feels lonely when love walks away. I kept choosing you through every doubt, while you were halfway gone, finding your way out. My love stayed honest through every sleepless night, through every tear I can't sleep at night knowing I gave my best. My love stayed honest, and it still will be for someone who can hold it without losing me. I won't dim my fire or close it just to cope. You couldn't match my loyalty, but I'll never lose my hope. My love stayed honest. You may forget what we were, you may rewrite the past, but I'll always know my love was real, and that's what lasts. You said the world was heavy, said it made your heart grow hard. So I tried to be the gentle when you came home battle scarred. I traced the lines of anger that you carried in your chest, held you like if I loved you right, you'd finally learn to rest. You warned me you were broken, wore damage like a crown, but I believed that tenderness could lay your weapons down. Every time you raised your walls, I lowered mine for you. I thought if I stayed open, you would open too. I stayed loving soft, even when it hurt, even when your sharp edges cut through every word. I chose to speak in kindness when you chose to speak in loss. I kept my heart wide open, no matter what it cost. I stayed loving soft. You said I was too sensitive, too fragile for your fire, but softness isn't weakness, it's strength that won't expire. I held you through your silence, through nights you turned away, convincing myself patience would make you wanna stay. But love shouldn't feel like begging to be seen, shouldn't feel like giving with nothing in between. I was steady as a lighthouse, you were drifting like the tide, and no matter how I loved you, you were already saying goodbye. I stayed loving soft through every restless night, through every time your pride refused to hold me tight. I kept believing warmth could melt what you had lost, but you don't value gentleness when your heart is closed and crossed. I stayed loving soft. I won't apologize for caring You walked away protected, I stayed here feeling it all. But I'd rather feel everything than build another wall. I stayed loving soft, and I'll stay that way for someone who sees the beauty in the gentle things I say. You couldn't hold my heart, you couldn't see its worth, but I won't trade my tenderness just to make love work. I stay loving soft. Swore I'd never fall that deep. Build my walls where I used to weep. Lock the doors, threw out the key. Said no one gets that close to me. Then you showed up soft and slow, with careful hands and eyes that know. You said I'm not the one who'll leave, and I chose to believe. Every scar I tried to hide, you traced them like they were mine. You made the broken feel like mending, so I let my heart start bending. I trusted love again, let you underneath my skin, opened up the parts of me I swore no one would ever see. I trusted love again, believed this time we'd win. Now I'm standing in the rain, wondering if I can ever trust love again. I told you secrets soaked in tears, shared my past, my darkest fears. You held my hands and pulled me near, said I'll always be right here, but always turn to I don't know, and forever learn to let me go. The same old ending shaking hands, I trusted love again. Let myself feel safe within. Thought this time would be the one that didn't come undone. I trusted love again. Now I'm scared of where I stand. If hope just breaks the same, how do I rebuilding higher than before, but part of me still wants to open up that door. I trusted love again, and even though it hurt me then, it means my heart still beats, still dares to believe. I trusted love. It's true, and one day love will trust me too. Laughing came so easy, and we didn't have to fight. You held me like a promise, spoke sweet about forever, but forever sounds different in stormy weather. I saw the change in your eyes when the skies turned gray. You were steady in the calm, but you trembled in the rain. You loved me until it was hard, until the cracks showed through, until loving meant choosing and fighting for two. You loved me when it felt good, when it didn't leave a scar, but you let go of my hand when loving got hard. We hit our first real silence, the kind that doesn't fade, and instead of pulling closer, you slowly walked away. I was ready for the mountains, ready for the climb, but you only loved me easy, you didn't love me in time. I kept saying we'll get through this, that's what love is for, but you were standing halfway, already at the door. You loved me until it was hard, until it took some strength, until it meant it didn't. We both had to change. You loved me in the daylight, but not in the dark. You let our story end scaring depart. It leans in closer when it's hard. You loved me until it was hard, but I loved you through it all. Through every storm that hit us, through every rise and fall. If loving means endurance, then I know who we are. You loved me until it was hard, and I loved you that hard. One day someone will hold me through every broken part. Not just love me when it's easy, but love me when it's hard. Love me when it's hard. Your side of the closet's empty, but mine still smells like you. I haven't moved the pictures, like somehow that's the truth. You said you needed space, said you needed time alone, but I watched you find somebody before the night was gone. I'm still standing in the doorway where you kissed me one last time. You were already halfway across another line. I stayed while you moved on, held on to what we had. You were already healing while I was breaking bad. I kept our world together while you were almost gone. I stayed while you moved on. I still know your coffee order, still drive down our street, still sleep on my side only, with the ache beside me. You said it wasn't easy, said it hurt you too, but you didn't look like someone who was losing what I lose. I'm replaying every memory, trying to find the flaw. You were packing up your feelings like they meant nothing at all. I stayed while you moved on, like I didn't get the news. You were learning how to live again. I was learning how to lose. I kept checking my phone, hoping you'd call. I stayed while you forgot it all. How do hearts beat differently when they once beat the same? How do you walk out so steady while I drown in your name? If you were hurting like I am, you hid it so well. 'Cause I'm still stuck in heaven while you're finding farewell. I'm folding up the forever we used to talk about, and it's hard to let it go when I still have my doubts. I stayed while you moved on, but I won't stay but I won't stay on. You packed your things in silence, wouldn't look me in the eye. Said it's just the way it has to be, like that would make it right. The door closed like a gunshot, echoed through my chest. You walked away so certain, while I fell apart a mess. You said your heart was empty, said the spark was gone, but mine was still burning, even after you were done. You left me still loving, with nowhere to put it now. All this aching in my arms, and you're not around. You let go so easy, like we were nothing. But I'm standing in the ruins, and I'm still loving. Your coffee cup still on the shelf, your side still cold at night. I reach across the mattress like you might change your mind. I try to hate your memory, but it won't listen to me. My heart didn't get the message that you wanted to be free. How do I unlearn a feeling that's woven in my skin? How do I stop loving you when I never wanted this to end? You left me still loving, with tears I can't control. Every song, every street still takes me back to home. You said you needed distance, said you needed something new, but I'm here with all this love and nowhere to give it to. Love shouldn't linger after goodbye. Shouldn't feel like holding on while you're letting it die. If I could switch it off like you somehow did, I wouldn't be drowning in what we were, what we did. Soft break up all your sweaters, but I can't fold up my heart. I try to start forgetting, but I don't know where to start. You left me still loving, but I won't stay here forever. One day this heavy heart will finally get better. You walked away from us like it meant nothing, but even through the breaking, maybe someday I'll thank you for teaching me what's true, but tonight I'm still loving you. enough to feel the heat, but never close to stand. You trace the lines around my heart, like you're scared of what you'll find. You say you want forever, but you leave your heart behind. You kiss me like you mean it, then pull away too fast, like loving me is something you're afraid will last. I keep reaching forward, you keep pulling back. Every time I move closer, you stay back. You stay back when I'm falling for you, when I'm ready to give all the love I can do. You stay back like I'm too much to hold, like my heart's too warm for your hands too cold. I'm here in the open, ready to unpack, but every time I love you, you stay back. You say you've been hurt before, like that explains the wall. But I'm not the one who broke you, I'm the one who'd catch your fall. I try to show you patience, try to prove I won't run, but I can't keep chasing when you refuse to come. You say you need time, say you're scared to try, but love won't wait forever for someone half alive. I'm tired of the distance, tired of the lack. Every time I say come closer, you stay back. You stay back when I'm giving my heart, when I'm willing to risk every vulnerable part. You stay back like loving me's a trap, like if you step too forward, you won't find your way back. But I can't keep holding all this love intact, when every time I reach for you, you stay back. I don't need perfect, I don't need fast, I just need someone who won't treat love like the past. I'm not asking for promises carved in stone, just someone brave enough to call this home. If you don't step forward, if you don't choose me, I'll have to walk away for my own peace. You stay back, but I won't anymore. I won't keep standing at a half-open door. If you can't meet me, if you can't love like that, then I'll find someone who doesn't stay back. I was ready for forever, ready for all of that, but love can't move forward if you stay back. beneath the streetlights, breathing in the cold. You said your heart was careful, but mine was brave and bold. I thought I could be fire to thaw your frozen touch, but loving you felt lonely when you didn't give enough. You'd pull me in for comfort, then drift away too soon, like I was just your shelter from a passing storm in you. Stay warm enough when the nights grew long, when I needed steady arms to hold me strong. You let the chill between us turn into distance touch. I gave you all my heat, but you didn't stay warm enough. You'd say you loved me softly, like it was hard to say, but love should feel like sunrise, not fading into gray. I wrapped myself around you through every silent doubt, but warmth can't survive when it's always burning out. I kept blaming the weather, kept blaming circumstance, but cold doesn't come from winter, it comes from half a chance. I was shivering beside you while you stood untouched. I was fighting for the spark. You wouldn't hold long enough. You didn't stay warm enough when forever needed flame. You let the fire flicker. Winter came between us, but it wasn't fate or luck. Love could have kept us warm if you stayed warm You said it like a whisper, like it wouldn't leave a mark. Just a simple maybe we should, in the quiet quiet of the dark. No screaming, no explosions, just a slow unraveling thread. But silence can be louder than the words we never said. I watched your shadow move across the bedroom wall, and something in my chest started to fall. You walked away so gently, like it wouldn't hurt this way. But soft departures still mean you didn't stay. Goodbye lingers in the air I breathe, in the empty side of the bed where you used to be. It lingers in the hallway, in every picture frame, in the way my heart still reacts when someone says your name. Goodbye lingers. I still hear your laughter in the quiet of my room. Still feel your fingertips like a fading perfume. You took your clothes and suitcase, but somehow left the ache. Love doesn't leave all at once, it echoes when it breaks. I keep replaying moments like they might explain how something once so certain turned into pain. You said we both deserve something better than this, but if that's true, why do I still miss? Goodbye lingers like a bruise beneath my skin, like a door left slightly open to let the memories in. It lingers in the silence, in the songs we used to play, in the way I still reach for you at the end of every day. Goodbye lingers. I thought time would quiet the sound of your leaving, but healing isn't linear, it's breathing and grieving. Some nights I feel stronger, like I'll finally be fine. Then one small reminder pulls me back in time. You're gone in every way, except inside my heart, and that's the hardest part. Goodbye lingers, but so does what we had. The love, the hope, the almost, the good inside the bad. One day it won't feel sharp, one day it won't sting, but right now every memory still means everything. Goodbye lingers. You said goodbye once, but it echoes in me over and over. Goodbye lingers. I never loved you loudly, never needed heart spoke in quiet ways in everything I do. I learned the rhythm of your breathing, the silence in your eyes, held your heavy secrets like they were mine. I wasn't made of fireworks or reckless kind of blue. I was steady as the morning, and I gave that all to you. I loved you soft and true, with open hands and no chains. Through every storm that found us, through every silent pain, I didn't play with your heart, didn't come unglued. I loved you soft and true, but you outgrew. I folded all your worries into prayers at night, stood beside your broken parts and called them light. I never needed promises to stay there in your arms. I thought my gentle loving would keep you warm, but you were chasing thunder and I was summer rain. I gave you something peaceful, you were craving something untamed. I loved you soft and true, like a candle in the dark. You were looking for a wildfire, I was guarding your heart. I never turned against you, never made you choose. I loved you soft and true, and still I lose. Maybe I was too tender, maybe I was too kind, but love shouldn't need to hurt just to feel alive. If calm was not enough for you, then what was I to do? I gave you all the quiet I had in me for you. Now I'm learning love can whisper and still be strong, even if the one you gave it to was already gone. I loved you soft and true, and I won't apologize for loving without armor or fear behind my eyes. If you needed something louder, something I couldn't be, I loved you soft and true, and that's enough for me. One day someone will hold me and see my heart come through. I loved you soft and true, and that was always true. score. If you needed all of me, I'd open every door. I let you see the messy parts, the doubts I couldn't hide. Put my heart out in the open, with nowhere left to run or hide. I didn't know how to love halfway. I only knew how to stay. I loved you without limits, without walls, without defense. Gave you every fragile piece and every ounce of confidence. I trusted you with everything, every hope I'd built. You held my heart so loosely, like it wasn't made of silk. I would have crossed every line just to feel you in it. I gave you all of me. I loved you without limits. When you doubted who you were, I told you you were strong. When your faith was running low, I tried to hold it on. I bent around your silence, turned excuses into grace. I made room for your distance while you erased my place. I kept thinking love meant sacrifice, even if it cost my life. I loved you without limits, through every warning sign, through every time you made me feel like loving me was fine. I stayed when it was heavy, when your effort grew thin. I was fighting for forever, you were fighting to give in. I ignored my intuition and the truth within it. I gave you more than you deserved. I loved you without limits. Maybe love needs boundaries, maybe love needs lines. Maybe loving endlessly should mean losing mine. I don't regret my heart for loving deep and wide. I just regret how far I let you push my worth aside. I thought if I gave you everything, you'd finally understand. But love can't grow in empty hands. I loved you without limits, till there was nothing left, till I was standing in the wreckage with an aching chest. I would have chosen you 1,000 times again, but I can't keep loving someone who won't meet me where I stand. Now I'm learning love should feel like safety, not a sentence. I won't lose myself again by loving without limits. Next time I love, it'll still be deep and honest, but I'll keep a little of me unbroken.